Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Today we are back on the IROC. I'm going to show you how to change the fuel filter on this 3rd gen Camaro. Your Firebirds will be the same. This is a tune port, 5.7, 305s will be the same. So the fuel filter on these things are underneath the vehicle on the driver's side. It pretty much sits right under here, underneath the vehicle here on the driver's side. Right where a control arm mounts on the driver's side here, you'll see the fuel filter sitting right in here. This is the line going to the motor. On this side, the line coming from the tank. We will be removing this 5/8 bolt. Well, the end of the line, it's not really a bolt. So to remove this line, you'll need a 5/8. Sometimes these can be different depending on the filter and the make of it. They can be standards. I've seen them where a 20mm fits better than your standard wrenches on it. One of the very first thing you want to do is loosen up the gas cap. What that'll do is relieve any pressure that's in the tank or the fuel lines, so it's not spraying out at you as you loosen your fuel lines. Another thing that you want is a pan underneath, as some fuel will leak once you loosen up that filter. So those things will help. So the line coming in and going out to the motor is a 5/8, and you will need to hold the filter itself from turning. The closest I've figured is a 13/16 that fits it. It's a little loose, but it'll do the job. Sometimes it can be metric. You will also need a 10mm socket with a wrench, or in my case I have a gun. That's for the clamp around the filter that's holding it onto the body. So let's get that done. So I have the line wrenches on the filter. This will be used to hold the filter, and to spin the line off would be the 5/8 here. I've already got them loose. So it's basically a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey type of a deal. So we're going counterclockwise to loosen this up. And you want to spin it back and forth a few times. Make sure this end rotates over the line. Sometimes they can seize up, and then you'll end up cutting the line, replacing it, or the ends at least. So that end is loose. We will also need to do the same thing on this end. Once you do have it loose, you can use your open end wrench. I wouldn't try an open end wrench just to loosen them in the first place. You might end up stripping the lines, so you don't want to do that. So I have both ends loose. Another thing we need to do is remove this 10mm bolt here, and that will remove this filter from this clamp that's holding it to the body. So here I was able to remove the old filter from here. Wasn't too bad, nothing was rusted. It just looked worse than it really is. Now keep in mind there are O-rings on the end of the lines on both sides. That's what seals the lines to the filter. Not a bad idea to replace them both. Some filters will come with them, some will not. And again, this here is where we removed our 10mm bolt from. That's just a clamp that holds the filter in place. So here I have the new filter. This is our old one. Now, depending on the brand you can get AC Delco, Fram, and there's of course many other companies that make these. They will be different as far as in length. You can see the difference here. In the OEM, I believe this is AC Delco. It may be Fram actually. It doesn't matter either way. Your ends will be the same where the lines go in. Most of your new filters will be marked which way the flow goes on the fuel. Obviously this side will be coming from the tank. This side going out, it will be marked out. That's the side going out to the motor. I will recommend some of these parts in the description for you, if that's what you're looking for. Now another thing that you'll run into, the line that mounts into this, if you remember, we have O-rings. This particular filter came with aluminum gaskets like these, just basically a soft washer. Either one of those will work, but I think we'll keep the rubber O-rings that are on the original lines on this particular vehicle. Remember, these filters may fit many different vehicles. So again, my O-rings are okay, so we'll use those. So I have the filter in position. I have everything hand tightened where it should go. You want to keep this clamp loose until you have the lines tightened so the filter can move to whatever position it needs to accordingly to lines and their lengths. Wrenches in place. In my case, the line itself being 5/8, on the filter end it's a 19 millimeter. We'll go ahead and tighten up the line onto the filter, and we'll take the screw and put it on the clamp to hold. So with the fuel filter installed done, the next thing you want to do obviously is fire the engine and make sure there is no leaks. You don't have to start the engine. You can turn the key on, they'll kick the pump on, and you want to make sure there's no leaks before you put the car in service. There's plenty of more stuff we'll be doing to this IROC, so stay tuned. I thank you for watching.